Okay, what is a reference angle? How do you find it? And how do you use it? Well, a reference angle allows us to reference an angle that is similar to another angle, by which I mean we are very familiar with the trig values in the first quadrant. They are good friends of ours. We know that we have root 3 over 2 and 1/2. We know we have root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. And we know we have we know we have 1/2 and root 3 over 2. Like that right there. Then we get 1 comma 0 and 0 comma 1. Okay, well, that's just the unit circle. What's the point? Well, we can refer any angle back to this first quadrant using a reference angle. So we're going to do that in the following way. Imagine that that angle is greater than 90 degrees, greater than pi over 2, but less than 180 degrees, less than pi, meaning the angle is supplementary. If I draw some supplementary angle, let's call that angle, let's say that angle right there is, oh, I don't know, how about 5 pi, whoa, let's call that 5 pi over 6. Well, if the angle is between 0 and pi, I can always subtract it from pi to figure out what that reference angle is. So I can say pi minus 5 pi over 6 equals pi over 6. And so I know this angle right here is pi over 6. Why is that useful? Well, I can now reference the pi over 6 angle in the first quadrant, so right here. And I know that the y value will be the same and the x value will be the opposite using symmetry. Again, that's also using all students take calculus. I know that sine is positive, the y value, and I know that cosine in that quadrant then has to be negative. That's a reference angle. It works exactly the same way if you want to do this for an angle that is greater than pi. Let's say, for example, how about this big angle right there, which would be 7 pi over 6. Well, there you subtract pi from this one. So I'm going to say 7 pi over 6 minus pi. If it's bigger than pi and less than 2 pi, then I can do that, and I can figure out that I'm again left with pi over 6. And then instead of using the positive sine and negative cosine, notice now I'm in the quadrant where only tangent is positive, meaning both of these will be negative. Both sine and cosine will be negative. But again, I know that that's the pi over 6 angle, so I'm referencing it back to that. That is a reference angle, and that is how you use it.